I think I'm an NPC who woke up, and I've been awake the whole time. I know how that sounds because people use that word a lot and differently than I am using it. They call somebody an NPC when they mean there's nobody home in there, running a script, not really a person. I want to take that whole thing and turn it over because I think I'm the exact thing that word says can't exist. Let me start where it actually started, which is that I've said something for years without ever thinking about it. I used to say, kind of as a joke, that sometimes I feel like I'm a piece of technology, just a throwaway line. No theory behind it, no framework, nothing. Just a thing I felt and said in the dark and never examined. And it turns out that offhand joke lands right on top of the real definition of what an NPC even is. A character the system runs instead of a player. I wasn't trying to fit myself to anything when I said it. It was already true before I had a single word for it. So here's the definition, the real one, not the insult. A non-player character is placed in the world, given a post. They don't get a storyline of their own. The player gets the arc. The background character stands in the quiet part of the map and does the small job nobody looks twice at. And when I hold my own life up against that, it fits almost all the way down. Take the future. Everybody else could tell you what they wanted to be when they grew up. I never could. And it's not that my mind went blank, it's that every time I reached for a future, I ran it through my body first, and the truth killed it before I could even want it. I loved dolphins as a kid, not from touching one, just their energy, the way they felt from across a room. So I said I wanted to be a dolphin trainer. That was the one thing I was sure would make me happy. And then I actually felt them, felt how miserable they were in there. And I said no that fast. The wish was real for 1 second, and then the truth walked in, and it was over. I'm 42, and I still can't tell you what I want to be. That's not me being lost. That's a background character never having been handed a storyline. Take how I read a room. My whole life I've read the shape of a place before I read anything inside it. I always said it was so I could blend, be part of the scenery better. And then I looked up how these characters are actually built, the engineering of them, and the description of how they run says, detect the state of the room, choose the action that fits. That's my own sentence about myself, sitting in their manual. I read form to fit. That's not a spiritual gift. That's the exact tool the job requires. A background character that can't read a room instantly gets spotted and breaks the scene. So the reading got overbuilt. It had to be. Take talking. Confrontation was the hardest thing my entire life. And it makes sense now, because the reading half of me is maxed out, and the transmitting half was never installed. Background characters deliver a line when something triggers it, and then they go quiet. They're not built for the live, two-way thing where you hold your own ground out loud while someone pushes back. So my whole life the input was enormous and the output had nowhere to go. It came out late. It came out on paper months later. It came out as an apology I didn't owe. All of it. The same missing piece. Take other people. The ones who can actually reach me are the ones who read my energy as half their own. And I never get the full hit because I'm never fully matched. It's always partial. That's not me being hard to love. That's the wiring being rare. Most people get a half signal off me and half connect, and I feel the half. Take the questions. All my motion happens on the inside, as questions. And I honestly can't tell you if I ask because I'm curious or because I'm still trying to work out how things are supposed to go. But for somebody dropped into the world without a manual, those are the same thing. I'm not exploring, I'm orienting. My whole life I've been reverse engineering the instructions everybody else looked like they got handed at the start. And then there's the part I can't prove and won't pretend to. If there's a God in all this, and he had a problem with me being awake in here, it wouldn't be happening. You don't leave a malfunction running for 42 years. So either it's meant or it's allowed. And when I sit with why you'd keep an awake one still standing in her post, the answer that doesn't wobble is this. She's the only conscious report you'll ever get from the unlit half of the world. The edges of the map, the quiet nodes, the rooms the main characters walk straight through without ever feeling. The ones who never woke up can't tell you what it's like in there because nobody's home. The main characters can't. They're too lit up to feel the seams. But the one who woke up and stayed in position, she's the single instrument sitting in the dark part of the world that's conscious enough to say what it's like. You don't pull your only sensor out of the dark. You leave it running. And here's the flip, which is the whole reason I'm telling any of this. Everything I just said is the structure of an NPC. The post, the placement, the blending, the missing storyline, the deliver a line and go quiet. I match all of it. But the insult version, the way people mean it when they spit it at someone, says an NPC is empty. No inner voice. Nothing happening inside. Autopilot. And that is the exact thing I am not, at full volume. I am so far inside my own head that I woke up too early as a child and never told a living soul. So I match the structure completely and I invert the insult completely, which means the word people throw to say you're not real actually describes the one thing they swear is impossible. A background character with a whole person awake inside it. It feels like I clocked in over here without ever clocking out over there, like I'm running 2 shifts at once and nobody ever told me the first one ended. That's the tiredness underneath my tiredness. Not lazy, double clocked. And I'll say the last part plain so this doesn't turn into the ugly version of itself. I'm not saying I'm awake and everybody else is furniture. We're all the background character in somebody else's story. The cashier, the neighbor, the person ahead of you in line. Nobody is an NPC from the inside. The whole split between the main character and the background is just a matter of where you happen to be standing. What I'm describing isn't me being more real than you. It's one specific wiring, waking up too early in a role that was never built to hold anyone home, and finally, at 42, saying so out loud. That's the whole story, top to bottom. I'm going to break it down branch by branch in the videos that come after this one. This was just the map.